Good afternoon, student. This is the third part of the chapter Food Security in India, class 9, subject Social Science. Student, in this section we will begin from page number 46 of your textbook, and our heading is Food Security in India. If you remember, in the previous section we discussed that after the successful introduction of the of the Green Revolution, after the successful introduction of the Green Revolution in many parts of India, say Punjab, Haryana, western part of Uttar Pradesh for the crop wheat, and for Tamil Nadu in the later years for the crop rice. What happened that India could achieve self-sufficiency in the food grain production. We can say that Green Revolution has provided our country self-sufficiency in the food grain production. What became helpful that even if in some of the parts of our country there was adverse weather condition because of which the crop productivity was not very good, India had no such situation of famine which was earlier existing before the 1960s. You have seen in the earlier part that before the independence there was a Bengal famine in 1943 which killed 30 lakh people. Similar condition remain even after independence in the district like Kalahandi and Kashipur in Odisha and Palamau district of Jharkhand, as well as the Paran district of Rajasthan. These were the cases where there remained a situation of famine where many people had a starvation death. But after the successful introduction of this uh, Green Revolution, India could achieve self-sufficiency and there was never a problem of famine like situation. Over the last 30 years we can say that we have attained a kind of self-sufficiency. The best example is present example, student. Over the last 50 days we are in lockdown situation, and during these lockdown situation I don't think the larger section of our country is facing a problem to have their access to the food or to have the availability of the food. Government is making sure that all the poor section of society can get the food without any trouble, without any problem. This itself is a proof that there is enough food available in our godowns. So that has been achieved by the government after the Green Revolution. Moving to next point, what is written in your book, that there is a graph on page number 47 showing you the various production starting from the decade of 1960-61 till the decade of 2010-11, and here onwards the bar diagram is showing you. I would suggest you go through yourself. It is showing you for every single year till the year 2018-19. What this is what these bar diagram is showing over here is production of food grains in India in the unit millions tons. Based on this bar diagram, you have been asked few questions like, in which year did your country cross the 200 million ton per year mark in the food grain production? Let us go to the bar diagram. We can find that it was 2010-11 when it got increased from 196 to 196 to 245. So you can say this was the particular year when the country crossed 200 million ton. In which decade India experienced the highest decadal increase in the food grain production? Again you can say, student, that from 196 to 245 was the highest growth of approximately 49 million ton. Similar growth, as good growth had taken place between 1980-81 to 1991, that was of the 46 million ton. So highest was for the year 2010-11. Similarly, there was another question: is production increase consistent in the India since 2000 to 2001? No, student. You can see that there was various number of times it happened, especially in the 2014-15 and 2015-16 when production got decreased. However, it remained more or less it remained in a state of improvement. But there are few years like 2012-13, it also got decreased by 2 million ton. Later in 2014-15 it got decreased to around 13 million ton, and then there was a little increase, but it remained uh, only with a marginal difference. You can say that there was a little shortage, but during this little shortage, our food insecurity, issue of our food security was not affected. That's what has been a nutshell message over here, student, that government could achieve self-sufficiency by ensuring that people remain food secure by the means of availability of food and accessibility of food for all of them. How government could achieve this? It is written in your book that government could achieve this by a carefully designed food security system. And what this food security system? Now, your book has said that it has two components. Number one is buffer stock and number two is public distribution system. Student, let's start and discuss one by one. Your another heading is what is buffer system on page number 47. On this page number, what is buffer stock? You can say that it is a stock of food grain, especially of the crop like wheat and rice, and it is stored and procured by the government through their department called Food Corporation of India. Student, there is a department of the government called Food Corporation of India, which is meant to procure the food and keep it safe, to ensure that country remains food secure, and whenever there is adverse weather condition or whenever there is a large scale crop failure, this granaries storage, this storage facility can be utilized to provide food. Like little earlier I said that during this lockdown, government is using of their storage facility to provide food to all the people, 130 crore people of this country. That's why we are finding that even in this tough condition, even in this testing time, food is not a issue for us, because government has made a kind of arrangement for this. Moving to another issue, student, that how government do this. So our Food Corporation of India used to purchase the food from those states where there is a surplus production. And how government do this? Government promises to the farmer, which is called minimum support price. Now what is minimum support price? Government make a promise to the farmers in the country before the sowing season that you produce this particular crop without being bothered that whatever would be the whatever will be the market price. Government is assuring that they will be purchasing the crop produced from the farmer at the set price. That is itself a guarantee and assurance to the farmer that farmer need not to worry about that what would be the market prices government farmer can produce, hoping that government will purchase all their food grains at the price which is quite higher and profitable for the farmer. Now next question is that if government has purchased and stored in their granaries of the Food Corporation of India, what government is likely to do? So our next question is why buffer stock? Why we create buffer stock? We create buffer stock so that we can distribute to those areas where there is a deficit in the production of the food articles or among the poor strata of the society through the public distribution system or through the ration shop. Here government provide people through their public distribution system, through their ration shop at a very cheap and affordable price called issue price. Issue price means compared to the market price, government provide food grains at a lesser price than expected. So now you can expect that it is something that can be done only by the government because it don't have any intention to make the profit. By this means of minimum support price and issue price, government do provide the protection and assurance to two sections of our society. Number one, our farmers, from which government purchase at a higher prices, and number two, our poor section of society to whom government sell at a price lower than their purchase price and even lower than their market price. Can you expect this kind of deal by any profit making institution? All we do understand that all profit making institutions purchase the product at the most possible cheapest rate and sell at the most possible highest rate so that their profit can be increased. But government is doing opposite. It is purchasing at a higher prices through minimum support price so that our farmer can have a little prosperity, and on the other side it is providing on the issue price to the poor section of society, which is comparatively lower than the minimum support price and even lower than the market price, to ensure that food security is ensured, and these two sections, both farmer as well as poor section of society, are protected by the government. Now student, moving to another component, that is public distribution system. In our country we have a vast public distribution system through our ration shop. There are these ration shops are also known as fair price shop, student. And in your country, as per your textbook data, approximately 5.5 lakh ration shop exist throughout the country, be it our rural area, be it our urban area, or even in our town area. This is made available so that needy people can go and avail the ration facility from there. Fair price shop, why it is called? Because it is providing all the things like kerosene, like wheat, rice, sugar, or all other essential product at a very fair price, which is affordable for the poor section of society, and which is not intended to make the larger profit. It was only intended to that these essential items should be available to the needy section of society. It is written as per the latest data that presently every family is provided 35 kilogram of grain, 5 liter of kerosene oil, and 5 kilogram of sugar. Many more things are also possible, but this is being provided in your textbook. That's what I'm telling you. You have been given one of the activities also in the later part. But before that, there is a box on page number 48, student, giving you that through ration shop, if we are wanting to get any product, we are provided by the government ration cards based on the size of our family, the number of member in the family, and these ration card are of three categories. First category is Antyodaya card, which is meant for poorest of the poor, means those who are very poor and need to be provided special subsidy. I will explain you in later part of this chapter that what is subsidy, but government makes sure by this means that the price of the market and the price what government is giving, there is a huge difference. It means government is providing at a very less price to this section of society. Then comes another section which is below poverty line, but not as poor as this Antyodaya, as the section which is given Antyodaya card. Another category is for the above poverty line, whom government don't give as much discount, as much concession or subsidy, because they can afford at a fair prices on their own. That is how government ensure that all the people through their ration card and using the facility of ration card through their ration shop can avail the things of their daily requirement. That is how, student, we could understand this part. Your book is suggesting you an activity, and I would be suggesting you not to do it right now, because for this you will be required to go outside and you will be required to go to the ration shop. You are being asked that visit to the ration shop of your area and get the following detail. When does the ration shop open? What are the items sold at the ration shop? Compare the prices of rice and sugar from the ration shop with the prices of any other grocery shop. All can be done easily by you at any time, but not now. Find out, do you have ration card? This you can do. You can ask your parents to show you ration card and find out to which category it belongs to. You will come to know based on your category, based on the criteria that what economic section you belongs to, the similar card you will have. I hope that everybody might be having a APL card. For that BPL card, you can ask someone like the maid who used to come in your house. She must be having the BPL card, and you will be finding that the color of these cards are not same. but it keeps changing. That's why I'm not making any statement that what are the color over here. Moving to our next topic, that is introduction of rationing in India, student. We have already discussed that rationing system has proven to be successful. It is a carefully designed system under the two component buffer stock and public distribution system. So when rationing, let us go to the history of this, when rationing system started in India. It was started before India got independence, immediately after the famine of the Bengal in 1943, when many people, 30 lakh people died over there. It was felt after that that country need to have some mechanism to ensure food security for all the people of the country. Even after independence, this rationing system existed there, but in 1960 it was revised before the introduction of the Green Revolution. It was felt that the country need to have a more accurate rationing system to ensure that which section of society need more help and which section of society can be doing things on their own. In 1970 it was again brought with various things. You can say it was food intervention program which was initiated. There was 3 food intervention program initiated by the government. Read it yourself. Number 1 is public distribution system, as we already discussed, student. It was strengthened, means more mechanism, more important areas which were required to be strengthened were given some correction by the government. We shall address in the coming part what correction was done so that our public distribution system can become better and better. We will go into the detail. First we will require to know what are the shortcomings. As I said that later on we will be discussing. Second was integrated child development program, which was introduced in 1975, and then there was food for work program which was introduced in 1977 to 1978. All these programs were meant to ensure food security. Not only these programs, many other programs were also introduced by the government to make sure that in different area, as per their need, people can be ensured food security. In the previous chapter, food poverty as a challenge, we discussed that many poverty alleviation program was also introduced by the government, which was meant to bring the food secure, which was meant to eradicate the poverty. And we have already discussed that eradicating poverty is having a direct connection with the introduction with the removal of the food insecurity. You can say that both are directly proportional. If we will be successfully eradicating the poverty, naturally all those families will be food secure also. So you can say, student, that not only these were introduced, midday meal was introduced also with the similar intention that children will be food secure by coming to the school. And many other programs like poverty alleviation program, which was meant to create employment opportunity. And as I said little earlier, more employment opportunity means naturally there will be less food insecurity, or there will be more food security among the people. Then there is further suggested activity to you. You are being asked, this you can do without coming outside the home, that is gather detailed information about some of the program initiated by the government which have food component, and book itself is giving you the area of what you can do. That rural wage employment program, number 1. Number 2, employment guarantee scheme. Number 3, Sampoorn Gramin Rozgar Yojana. Number 4, midday meal. Number 5, integrated child development services. Your book is expecting you to find out what is the present status. These all are easily available on the internet, so I don't think you will require to go outside your house and to collect the information. On the next page, student, we have a box showing that in 2013 an act was passed called National Food Security Act. And what provision are made in this act is that it is meant to provide food and nutritional security life. Food, this act is meant to provide to all the people food and nutritional security life at affordable price. It is the intention of the government that it should remain at the affordable price so that people can live the life with the dignity. They are not going to face the situation where their dignity is going to hurt just to have their access to the food. Under this act, government has provided a kind of food security to the all people with a promise that they will get the food with the nutritional content in it and at the affordable prices. In this, it is also mentioned that 75% of the rural household and 50% of the urban household have been considered eligible for this food security ensured by the government through the Act of 2013. That is how, student, we have completed this section in which we could come to know that after the successful introduction of green revolution, country has become self-sufficient, and that is why over the last 30 years we never had to face the situation of famine which we were facing till 1960. And it is also praiseworthy that even under the adverse weather condition we could achieve food security for all the people of the country. Then we discussed that how government has done through their carefully designed public distribution system, that is with the two component buffer stock and the public distribution shop, where there is a fair price shop existing. In the buffer system, we discussed that government purchase the crops and keep it in the storage of the Food Corporation of India at the price called minimum support price, and sell to the poor section and the section where there is more food security required at a issue price which is lower than the minimum support price. And that's how government provide the security. And in the last part we discussed that government has made in 2013, that is Food Security Act, to ensure food security for all the section, with the history of the introduction of rationing system in India. In the next section, we will discuss the current status of public distribution system, where we will make critical analysis. As I said little earlier, that we will discuss in detail that what are the things that have been achieved in this PDS system and what are the shortcomings, what still exists, and as a hindrance for the proper arrangement or proper attainment of the food security for the people of the country. Thanks a lot, student.